Hey everybody, it's Wayne here from Badger Woodcraft. Today I am going to do a video overview of my boxes so you guys can actually see all the cool features and what exactly they are so you guys can kind of check them out. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Okay, so this is the box style that I'm offering. It has a couple really cool features. The first one is if it's a top loader in a slot right here to keep your commander separate. For those of you who, like me, always accidentally shuffle your commander into your deck or just have a nice commander and want to keep them separate from your deck. The slot is the same in every deck box, so they all fit. There's also room for a couple tokens in there or anything extra you might need. You will also see that the hardware on it is brushed brass. It's very nice. Get some nice close-up of the grain patterns here. Though every box is designed the same, I use different pieces of wood for everything. So that means you know exactly what you're getting. I can make them very consistently the same. But every box is a little bit different because every piece of wood has a different grain pattern. So I think that's really cool. The next thing you'll notice is that there is a leather bottom in each of my deck boxes. That's actually kind of like a false bottom. It comes out, so I'm going to go ahead and use a puller here. I did not make it to be super noticeable because in the bottom, sorry, this is hard to do one-handed. In the bottom of each box, I have cut out a slot to actually put a tile locator in the bottom of each one. So this is a Tile Pro. So as long as you're within 400 feet of your box, it'll show you where it is. It can beep, whistle. So if you're at an event or something and your box happens to walk off by itself, like a GP or Magic Fest as they're called now, you should very easily be able to locate your box. Or if you have an idea of where it is, you could always park out on the street and find it. So the tile goes right in there, and then you just simply set the bottom back into the box. So it's pretty hidden. It isn't easy to see unless somebody knows where to look for it. They're not gonna, know to check it or pull it out. Every box has that. It can come without it. I can make them without the little slot for the tile GPS, but I would never suggest to not do that. The GPSs can be ordered with the box, or they can be ordered separately if you want to wait a little bit to get one. All right, so this is kind of hard to do one-handed just because I'm holding a phone, not a professional video maker, but I wanted to show you guys the fit with the decks in these boxes. So this is my my personal deck. It is dragon sleeve outers and dragon sleeve inners. So these boxes each will hold 100 double sleeved cards. So no more searching for a box that'll actually hold 100 double sleeved. Might be better off getting my kid to come help me do this, huh? Alright, so as you can see, it very comfortably fits 100 double sleeved cards. So now I'll kind of get into the design features of these boxes that I make. And I try to take a lot of heartaches I've had with past custom made boxes I've either made or ordered myself, and I've tried to solve most of them with this box. So the first thing I want you to notice is that there is almost like an inner box for the deck itself that goes all the way around. So that box actually prevents you from shutting your deck in the lid, so you won't bin cards as you put them down. It is impossible. They do not fit bigger than the box, so they open. So you will never crease one of your edge cards or damage your sleeves trying to put this in or out. The next thing I want you to notice is that there is very, very, very little room for your cards to wiggle around. So you're not going to damage anything or shake anything loose. This is enough room to fit perfect cards. If you wish, if that's what you want to sleeve your deck in, it'll also fit 100 double sleeve perfect cards. Next thing I want to show you is the little slot that is right there. It is on both sides. So that is actually a finger hole. And that is so that way you can get your hand into your box and pull out your deck without actually having to move the deck box at all. So no more flipping, trying to shake your cards out, jam them in there, pull them out because they fit so tight. It is made to be a very, very almost perfect fit for 100 double sleeved cards. So now we're going to go ahead and do like kind of a close-up of the boxes so you can kind of see the grain patterns and how they're made. You'll notice all angles are mitered at 45 degrees. It just means it's a 45-degree angle, so there's no end grain showing on this box. End grain is kind of the uglier representation of a piece of wood. So these are all what's called a continuous grain. So when I cut the pieces of wood, I actually resaw it on a bandsaw, which means I cut it in half and I open it from the middle and make my 45-degree cuts from there. And so what that does is it matches the grain extremely close, sometimes not perfect, but very, very closely. So all around the box, it appears as though it's one piece of wood. And you can see there's no end grain, no side grain, it's all face grain, which is the prettier piece of wood. And then you have the top, which is also top grain. And of course, cherry's the same. All my boxes, the same process is used to make all of them. The hardware is very nice and tight. And again, these are all handmade boxes, though I make them the same. I just repeat a process, so they all come out the same. The wood patterns change, the grain patterns change, the type of wood chosen can change, but they're all going to come out the same size, hold the same amount of cards. All right. Okay, last I'm going to go ahead and do a shake test and show you guys that they don't pop open. The hardware I use is very good hardware. As you can tell, if it's in your backpack, it's not going to pop loose. If you move it across the table, your cards aren't going to spill. If it tips over, it doesn't unlatch and your cards spill all over the table or floor. The next thing I want to talk about is my finish. So I finished the wood up to a 220 grit sanded finish, and then I use a wax that is PVC free, so it doesn't heat up in the sun and get sticky or anything like that. And as you can tell, it doesn't change the color of the wood at all. This is walnut that we're looking at right now, and cherry in the background. And it doesn't actually change the color, but it leaves a nice, glossy, clear finish on it. But it doesn't change the wood features at all. And we can also look at a Babinga box, and you can tell it just really brings out the color and the grain patterns and the features. Protects your box and your cards, but won't actually change the wood's color, get sticky, or it's very smooth. So those are a quick overview of my boxes. Let me know what you guys think. I have 12 of them.